Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Storytime. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're ready for what I'm about to talk about today, because this story time is going to be a lesson for all of us, and it's going to be a very valuable lesson. So I can't say the lesson without saying the story time. You see, I'm gonna take you back to September. In September 2021, I wrote down a list of the things I really wanted God to do for me as I go back to uni in my final year, right? The list I had for God, yeah, is just to please give me a job that has work experience that also is paid. Like, that's all I want. And you know, I started applying to jobs left, right and centre. I was applying all over the gaff in September, and I was only hearing back from people like Sainsbury's or you know, Holiday Inn, stuff like that, like just different jobs that were kind of like waitressing or, you know, cashier. And I was like, okay, do you know what, if it's not work experience, it's still going to give me money. So I was like, let me just be doing it. I had a job interview for a hotel, so I went to the interview and I got the job, which was great. Okay, to get to from my house, yeah, to where the job is, I have to go on the motorway, right? Because in Essex, that is how things are. Like, it works where you kind of, to get anywhere that's within, let's say 30 minutes drive, you have to go onto a big A road, or you have to go onto the motorway. Like, that's just how it works, right? Got to the workplace now. When I was working in that role, they told me I was going to be a customer service assistant, which means I assumed I was going to be on the desk at the reception, because that's what the job description said, right? So when I got there and I was doing my first day, why was I being a waitress? You know, I was waitressing. I said, okay, interesting. Bearing in mind, this shift, yeah, was a 10-hour shift. So it finished at 12 and I got there for 12. So that's 10 hours, or is that 12 hours? Jesus, it was even a 12-hour shift. Can you imagine the monstrosity of it all? It was a 12-hour shift. So anyways, I did the shift. I really didn't like it for so many reasons. It was making me think that, you know what, I'm going backwards. I felt like I was going backwards. I just felt like it wasn't aligning with the things that I thought that God was going to give to me, and also the things that I wanted for myself. Like, honestly, I didn't see how me working in a Holiday Inn was really gonna add relevant work experience. It wasn't. Anyways, after that shift, yeah, I had another shift the next day, and it finished at 12. Bearing in mind, yeah, we finished cleaning and everything at 11, but the guy said that we can't go until 12 because that's when we're meant to finish. And I thought that was very silly because there was nothing to do. So that was that. Oh, by the way, didn't get a break. The whole 12-hour shift didn't get a break. Not one break. Didn't get to sit down for 1 minute. They did not give me a lunch break. They said in the contract that you would get one free meal and you'd get a lunch break. That free meal was not there and I didn't get a lunch break. I don't care what the reasons were. That in itself is unacceptable. But I still said, you know what? Before I make any permanent decision, let me just try and ride it out for a week. Let me try and ride it out for a week. I'll get to the end of the day basically, and it's time to go home. Okay. So I now leave this place. I get in my car, it's pouring down with rain, thunderstorm, as in I've never seen rain like this before. I get in my car and I'm driving, and I get to the roundabout, where now after the roundabout you take an exit and you're supposed to get onto the A12, right, to go back home. I get to the roundabout. Why is the roundabout closed? The roundabout was closed. There was barriers up. I didn't even know this was possible to do. There was barriers at the A12 entrance. You could not go through, you could not come out. I said, right, interesting. How the hell am I getting home? I'm going on Waze, and Waze is telling me to go through the barriers. That's how Waze is so annoying. It's telling me to go through the barriers, basically, because it's not updated. So it doesn't know that the A12 entrance is closed. So I'm like, okay, there has to be another entrance. Come on. I look on Waze, I look on Google Maps. There's nothing. There's no way for me to get home. And I'm in the area and I'm like, what am I doing? So I call my sister. I say, sister, what am I gonna do? There's no way for me to get home. She thinks that she's gonna go to sleep while I'm still here in this foreign place, yeah, at a roundabout in the darkness, in the pouring rain. She thinks that she's gonna say, oh, okay, that's fine, sort it out and go to sleep. She must be mad. I told her, you're staying on the phone with me this whole journey. I don't care how long it takes me to get home, you're staying on the phone with me. So after a lot of back and forth of me, I was actually going around the roundabout like this. I was driving around the roundabout in a circle because I was thinking, how am I gonna get home? Like, I need to get home somewhere. Maybe if I turn around again, the entrance will magically open. That wasn't happening. So I go back into the hotel and I say, hi, how am I supposed to get home because the A12 is closed? This guy, yeah, tells me that, oh, apparently you go down, yeah, the opposite way. You take a left, you take a right, you take a U, you take a... I said, do I know this area? I've never been to this area ever before in my life. He's telling me to take ways that I've never seen before. And I'm like, okay, let me just try and note down what he said. Cool. I'm driving and there's nowhere to go. Everywhere that I'm going is going further out of Essex. So it doesn't make sense. I'm thinking, what is he talking about? So I now go back to him and I'm like, hi, I drove down and there's no other way to go. So what are you talking about? He's like, no, when you get to a certain like point, there's this road that you can turn and do a left in, basically. When I got to that road, yeah, that road was this narrow. As in, 2 humans could probably walk through together. That was it. Not a whole me and a car. So I was confused, but I was like, okay, let me try. I now turn and I'm driving down these country lanes. I'm driving down country lane road. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but he's telling me to drive down with where the horses, the sheeps, where the horses reside. Oh God, I was driving with the cows. Like, no word of a lie, there was a sign that said there's going to be animals walking past. Like, that's where I was, basically. Complete and utter greenery, and it was dark. It was now 1 AM at night. It was pouring down with rain. There was thunderstorm in the background. The road was about this narrow. Couldn't see what was going on. But it says, apparently, if you keep going down this country lane, then there's a way or whatever for you to come out and go through. Anyways, I say all of that, yeah, so that you have context towards the lesson that was learnt, right? Eventually, I got out of the country lane and I got to another roundabout, which was also closed, so I didn't know how I was supposed to get home. I was now perambulating across this place. I don't even know where I was. I don't even know if I was still in Essex. Going round and round and round, through and through and through, just having to rely on my sister, me, God, and that's it, because Google Maps wasn't even working. So anyways, now eventually I got home. Eventually I got home, and I'm telling you, 4 hours later, like it took me, a journey that was meant to be 30 minutes drive took me like 3 hours to get home. Like, it was stupid, like it was crazy. Anyways, I say all of that because the lesson was, yeah, sometimes you need to get lost to hear God clearly. Sometimes we can choose to put things in our own strength, and we can choose to put things in our own might, trying to fast forward what God has for us because we're not willing to be patient, or because we're not willing to rely on God. I say that because what I learned was that God had something more for me, but because of my impatience of waiting, and I felt like I needed money right now, I need to get a job, I need to get these things, because of that mentality, it caused God, yeah, that the only way that he could speak to me was for me to get lost, was for me to be lost, for me to be parabolating, for me to be doing all of that rubbish. So after that whole experience, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to work at this place. This is the biggest sign I've ever needed. Every single shift there, by the way, was 12 to 12. So I was constantly going to be trying to get home at 12 AM in the morning. And I thought, this isn't going to work. Like, I can't be parabolating in this place, or Essex, for 5 hours because every single A road is closed. It doesn't make any sense. So I said to myself, you know what, I'm not going back there. I emailed them. I said, hi, not gonna lie, inconvenience, cannot withdraw my application, thank you, goodbye. And that was it. And bearing in mind, I filled out everything that was necessary, so they needed to just come and throw it in the bin because I was not coming back to that workplace. And the reason why I really chose not to go there was because I believe that God was telling me this is not what he has for me. Because even when I was working there, it felt like I was going backwards. But I was still willing to maybe push that aside in order to get some money. Let's be honest, I was willing to do that. But God had to really come and get me lost. God had to show me, hi, because you're not listening right now. Hi, this is how you're going to be going round and round and round and round in the circle. The way I was going round and round that roundabout is the same way I'll be going round and round in life here if I don't make a decision yet to say no to certain things that aren't for me. Just because they might look pretty at the beginning, or they might look glossy, they might look like they're going to give you what you want for now, doesn't mean they're going to be in favor for you in the future. It doesn't mean that they're going to benefit you in the future. And that's what I found. I found that I had to come and say no to that job, yeah, because first of all, a lot of things I learned in that first term, I could not have balanced the workload that I had and a job. I could not have. And I didn't know that at the time. But by me saying no and having more time on my hands and realizing how that time was taken up by uni work, I realized that I would not have been able to do those shifts and work. That's just me personally. Second of all, I would have thought that it's okay to go backwards. It's not. It's not. God wants to progress me. God wants to progress us. He wants us to be pushed forward. He wants us to learn from things and move forward, not learn from things and go backwards. So in me going and sticking in that job, yeah, I would have been going back to a 16-year-old me, just walking around waitressing. I wouldn't be getting work experience, and okay, maybe I would have been getting money, but the things that I would have been having to fight over, i.e. trying to get home, it wouldn't have been worth it. Like in the nighttime, a lot of things could have happened. It was pitch black here. I'm telling you, when I say horses could walk in the country lane, yeah, I'm not joking. If they were awake at that time, they could definitely walk and say hi, because that's how the roads were. Like I was in the country. So God was really protecting me in that journey for me to even get home safely. I can't keep testing that every single day because I want to now go and collect a few change, a couple of pounds, you know? So overall, what my lesson is and what my point is saying that story time is for us to understand that sometimes God has something better for us, but we have to trust in him. We have to be willing to be patient. Trust in God in the times when you have nothing, because when you really trust in him in those times, when he gives you the things that you really want, you will really be appreciative of it, and you also know that they don't define you. I now know I can survive based on honestly a limited amount of money, because I really had basically nothing in my bank account. I can tell you that much. I really was surviving on just paying my rent and paying my bills and my food shopping. That was it. Like, it was hard times, but God was still faithful. He still kept me. I was still able to hand in my assignments, and I was still able to get decent grades. So really and truly, what was most important was accomplished. And that's also what that lesson taught me, is that sometimes we do prioritize incorrectly, and sometimes God needs to teach us that, hi, trust in me first and all else literally will be added. And I even say that to say, this year of 2022, I have a job. Yeah, I have a job. I'm a teacher. I'm a part-time teacher at a tuition center, which is basically after school, and that is work experience that is relevant. Can we see? I just feel like I need to take a pause, because deep here, I had to say no to the previous job in order to know what I truly wanted was going to be supplied by God, and to wait on him. Sometimes we're not willing to wait on God, but God has something that's in line with what you asked for at the beginning. He has something for you. He has it ready, but he needs us to just be patient. He needs us to trust him, because let's say I was working in first term when I had a bunch of modules to do. Let's say I was working and I ended up failing those modules. The prayer I prayed, which is to pass those modules, will now be not working. Do you get what I'm saying? It will now not be contradictory, because I prayed to pass, but I was doing things that was not allowing me to pass. And God cares about us so much that he's willing to delay something that we've prayed for in order for us to receive that bigger thing that we prayed for. Oh, I hope I'm making sense, because it really is something I want to press on. Like, God, yeah, he is so amazing that he will literally say no for now in order for us to get what we desired later at a better time. And that's what I learned, because now I'm working and I have a job as a teacher. I am getting relevant work experience. I'm getting relevant work experience. It's closer to my house. I don't have to go traveling on the big motorway to get to work. The hours are better. They're not finishing at 12. The latest I finish is at 8:30. So it's like all of these things are happening, and I'm like, God, you are amazing, because had I not been willing to wait, had I not been willing to be patient, I wouldn't have been able to receive what you had better for me. And this is a lesson that people can learn in every single aspect of their life. Trusting God is the best way for anything. Like, if you want to succeed in this life, you need to trust in God, because the plans that he has for us are better than the plans we have for ourselves. Sometimes things don't work in our favor when we want them. What we should be saying is thank you, God, because that means that it wasn't for me. That means that it wasn't meant to be for now. That means that actually you have better for me. That is what the lesson is, and that is what I'm learning every single day. That's what God is teaching me. Like, he has better for us, so we just need to be willing to receive it. We need to be willing to be patient. We need to be willing to trust on him. But ultimately, I just want us to understand that the lesson really is that God has got your back. You just need to be willing to make the right decisions. Don't compromise your original desire for what your present moment is showing. Don't compromise that. Oh, and I feel it in the way of marriage, because it's like some people might think, you know what, my original desire was to get married to a godly man. Oh, that's not coming right now. Let me compromise that desire and go for this man he doesn't really believe in God, but you know, he believes he's spiritual. he's spiritual or something. So, you know, that's close enough. Let me just go with him, because at the moment I can't see my husband. Maybe it is him, maybe it's not. And we start compromising the original desire of what we wanted based on the present moment that we're in, because we don't believe that God can bring it. But God is telling you to be patient. He's telling you to wait. He's telling you that original desire, that was correct, that was true, that was aligned with my words. You need to be patient and wait. I'm coming to bring it. I'm bringing it in a time that is perfect for you. I'm bringing it in a way that you will appreciate it. I'm building you in the process. Like, God is saying all of these things, we're not listening. He's saying this and we need to really receive it. Okay, be patient, trust in God. Like, that is what I want my message to be, really and truly. So I hope this story made sense. I hope it really did. But that's just basically what I learned. And right now I'm a living testimony to say that sometimes when you sacrifice something and you say no because it's not aligned with what God is calling you to, God will honor that sacrifice, and he will bring something that's better. And that is how it is. I literally had a job. I said no, I don't want it. I got the job, everything. I said no, sorry, no, it's not working, because I felt like God was saying the same for you. Now he has brought me something that is for me, that is relevant work experience, that is better, that I'm developing, that I'm learning. Come on now, do the maths, like, you're seeing, like, that's how good God is. And if he can do it for me, he can do it for you. I'm no more better than anybody else watching this right now. So yeah, I hope this made sense. I hope, you know, you guys learn from this, and I hope that it touches somebody, because it touched me, I can tell you that much. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Honestly, like, I enjoyed making it. And I'm gonna see you in the next video. Okay, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Make sure you share this video, share it out if you want this message to be heard by other people. I'm gonna see you in the next video, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.